ran into Uzi like, how long ago? I ran into like a month ago.
No, it was like something like 2-3 weeks ago, really.
I was leaving the studio, tired as hell, 7 o'clock in the morning. I opened the door and he was in the car. I opened his car door, and I was like, my bad. He was like, wrong car. I said, okay. And I closed the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with car either, bro. It's like, I think right at this point, we're grown men. Like, we're just older now. You know, like, we just all living our own lives, getting our own money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you see his bracelet.
Yeah. Hard though.
Like,
no, right. It's hard though. It's hard though. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just like niggas getting their own.
Here, there's a story history between Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi Vert. Now, they've never, this is a...
Like, we're just older now. You know, like, we just all living our own lives, getting our own money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you see his bracelet.
Yeah. Hard though.
Like,
no, right. It's hard though. It's hard though. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just like niggas getting their own.
Here, there's a story history between Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi Vert. Now, they've never, this is a weird thing, they haven't done music together despite being on the same legendary, historic, beautiful chef's kiss of a freshman class that was 2016. And there was some beef between...
Millions of black women are destroying their skin every day when they make this huge mistake. If you've ever struggled with dark spots or patches on your face, underarms, or bikini line, you're about to learn why it happens and how your skincare routine might be making things worse without you even knowing. Let's start with difference number 1, moisture loss. Black skin.
So, circling back to 2016, 2017, there was supposed to be an album that came out from Yachty. He was going to drop his debut album. It was it was Teenage Emotions. And in the lead up to Teenage Emotions, keep in mind, Love is Rage 2 was gearing up to release as well. Lil Yachty and Uzi had both been releasing a bunch of tapes, right? Like you got Perfect Love tape, Love is Rage, all that other stuff. And 2016, Love is Rage was 2015. You guys get the idea. But with Lil Yachty, there was there was summer songs and there was a couple of different things. But what started were some comments. So Uzi was showing some music, and keep in mind, at this time people loved Uzi, and there was a lot of mixed opinions about Yachty. Now the old heads, they just thought like Uzi looked weird, but from the music aspect, people were rocking heavy with Uzi, and Yachty was kind of trash. Well, they were calling him like bubblegum rap. Like keep in mind, he was on songs with Kyle like I Spy, which don't get me wrong, catchy song. But people were like, yo, this guy's rapping for kindergartners, and I was, among others. Granted, I grew to, and I enjoyed a lot of those songs in early Yachty, but we're going to get into Teenage Emotions. But he hopped in the comments of a preview that Uzi Vert had put out, and this post has since been deleted a long time ago. But he said, sound hard, but don't sound harder than Yachty. And he added Uzi's like rolling eyes emoji that became synonymous with him. So here Yachty, and I think this is a disconnect that happens between rappers, is that they think, okay, we're cool, but we're cool, but the other rapper's like, hey, we're not that cool. And then Uzi replied and said, put out your album so I can destroy that ish with mine. And don't rap through your nose on this one. And it's like, damn, dog, like I just gave you a tap on the shoulder and you just freaking knuckled up and hit me like it's like a punch buggy. Like we just saw a punch buggy. And then Lil Uzi Vert continued and said, your ass is mentally challenged. Don't try to bring that foolishness over here. You better finish your last challenge. Now go find a few girls and stop worrying about boys. Oh man, that was so hilarious. Now granted, they were trying to drop on the same day. That didn't end up panning out. Teenage Emotions released in May, whilst Love is Rage 2 released in August. Love is Rage 2 did like 135K first week, whilst Teenage Emotions did 48K, and people clowned on that album, calling it trash. It was trash, piece of garbage. Dude had two dudes kissing on the cover. He was trying to do everything, and the music sucked. Like if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta drop some heat. But after that, there were some, there's a little bit of a history, right? So Lil Uzi Vert, he's dating JT right now. They've been together for quite a while. Like, they seem to gel well together. I do think they look great together. They just match well. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I'll give you an example of something that doesn't match well. When you see a skinny rapper with a chick that's got a huge BBL, or just like a really thick chick, you're like, yo, this
Why the
doesn't
fuck you
match
gotta wait
well.
till the
Like,
next
if
day
we were
just to get
creating
the
a
shit? It
sculpture
makes
or
no
an image,
sense.
we'd be like, yo, this doesn't look right. But if you've got like a Pete Davidson, right, with some coked out model, you're like, okay, that matches, like, you know, the physique, all that. So Uzi matches with JT really well. And they're both a little bit crazy and they're both a little bit off in a good way. So Yachty was cool because keep in mind, Yachty's from Atlanta. Uzi, he's not from Atlanta, he's from Philly. And Cardi, we're going to get into him in a little bit. But with Uzi, Uzi's dating JT. Lil Yachty wrote.
What if the answers you seek are just one conversation away? Unlock your potential. Speak to an advisor now. Psychic World.
She's giving hyperpigmentation weird. I wanted to try out a new foundation. I just recently went to Sephora. I'm very picky about the foundations that I use, concealers, all of those things, because your girl has acne prone skin and I have hyperpigmentation. And I've been seeing some great reviews of the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. And yeah, we're just gonna give it a try today. And I also got the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. I got a skin like shade and then I got a highlight shade as well. So we're going to be trying those out too. I'm going to go in with the darker shade that
Act Up for JT, and he knew JT from way before. They're both signed to QC. City Girls was signed to QC. So he had wrote that song, and we had come to find out that Yachty may have been involved with her intimately prior. And then also in 2017, and I think it was summer or late summer, and this was after Love is Rage 2, he was talking about that him and Uzi weren't friends. And then 2018, there were just like some fans were, you know, they weren't too like, they were stoking the flames. But it was in 2023 when there was some controversy when a new song came out with censored bars and people were like, yo, the original one was dissing Lil Uzi. And Yachty called it out publicly and said like, nah, that's not true, this and that. But come on, we know what's up. And then later on, he said it's not beef, it's just competition between them, and everything's chill. And Uzi hasn't really spoken on it since. Now, the reason why I think, and keep in mind also, Yachty has had frustrations with Cardi. I don't think they have any issues, because Yachty got put on. So this is the Yachty-Cardi connection. Yachty got really, really strong put on by Ian Connor. So this is 2015 era. Ian Connor was locked in with Ye in the fashion show. You guys remember iconic fashion show. Yachty was standing there forever. A lot of people believe this was like, yo, this was a moment that changed Yachty's career. And it did. But Ian Connor was also around Atlanta a lot at that time. Ian Connor also helped link him up with, I think he got him on with Ill Roots. Ill Roots was a legendary blog. They also threw these legendary after events at South by Southwest every year. I think it was it Ill America or was it Ill Fest? I'm not sure. But they brought Yachty out for, I think it was definitely his first show. It was at the MoMA in 2015. And I think this was before the Yeezy season show. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Ill Roots that brought him out there. But that was one of his first shows. And Ian Connor was instrumental in this. Ian Connor was also instrumental in bringing up Cardi at the same time, 2015. So that's where the connection comes into Yachty and Cardi. But fast forward a bunch of years later, a lot of people started to call out Yachty fans for like copying Cardi. And there was this one, and Yachty would reply to these tweets. So there was this one tweet where this guy says, Cardi can't try one new sound without rappers immediately biting him. He's generational. And then Yachty says, biting him? How did I bite him? The beat? If that's the case, I've been working with Cardo Galmains, since 2019, 2020 on record. Y'all fans be smoking the strongest beat. And then there was another post where people are Googling net worth. And they said, damn, he willingly jumped on that crack both feet. And they showed 8 million for Yachty and 20 million for Cardi and 90 million for, I think that was Kendrick. All of these numbers are wrong. And then Yachty quotes it and says, I made 8 million in my first 8 months of rapping in 2016 on God. This is also why when Yachty made the comments earlier in that clip talking about, yeah, you know, we grown now, we all getting money. It's like, bro, when are you going to stop talking? It's not, I don't have a problem with them talking about getting money, but you made like 13 million in your first year, you were saying. So, yo, the whole like, yo, we getting money, you left that 8 years ago. Like, you've been getting money. It's not like a we get it thing, but it's like, yo, what's the next level? And we're going to get into the next level in a little bit of a second here. So we had Yachty replying to that, and then academics even claimed that Yachty was changing his sound up because of Cardi. And then Yachty says, "You are so insane. I didn't tell you this at all. Stop drinking, bro. I said Tyler encouraged me to take that route." And he's talking about when Yachty dropped that project. I'm forgetting the name of the project, but it was received very, very well. And this is where I understand Yachty's frustration. Let's start here. That was the project.
Along with the all-star team of Stan Van
This is where I
Gundy,
understand Yachty's frustration. He's like, yo, let's start here. Is a completely different sound from anything Yachty can do. It was completely different from anything anybody else was doing. But because Cardi did a whole lot of red and he changed his stuff up, Yachty's getting compared to Cardi half. And I understand that frustration. But Cardi was just like the biggest thing, and that he just got compared to him. So I think this was, I don't think Yachty really ever had much of a problem with Cardi. It was just like some competition stuff. But the reason why I think Yachty is a lot less frustrated now than he might have been in the past is because Yachty's in a great position. Let's just think musically, right? Why would he beef with Uzi? I don't think Yachty is tripping off his big team at all. And with music and career, music is in a better position right now. Now, Uzi, don't kill me for this. You guys know how much I love Lil Uzi Vert's catalog. Like, I've always, back when EA came out, I said, you don't need to be EA. I've got enough Vert for my entire life. Like, it's just man, amazing. But people aren't too hyped for Uzi releases like they were. People haven't been talking too positively about Uzi releases.
I get so many questions about how I keep my kitchen microplastics free, so let me give you a quick tour. On my counter, I display the utensil set, which is really great because it does...
EA1, really? And then you got Yachty. People are really excited about everything. Every time you learn more information about Yachty physically, we grow to appreciate it. Like, yeah, that's what we take Carlos and stuff. You find out that he is great. An entire song, Jumbotron is competent. We see him, Let's Start Here, for instance. It's not that I didn't like it, it's that I just felt like it was overblown how great it was from people's perspective, because I've listened to that type of music for a lot of my life, not most of my life. And if people are anticipating Yachty. So Yachty's in a position where they're like, yo, that's that guy when it comes to like this hard stuff. And then it can't really be said about Uzi right now. So I think Yachty's like, yo, while commercially I may not be as successful with my brand, right? Like, forward-facing behind the scenes, and I think Yachty has grown very, very confident in himself as an artist to where things aren't swaying him as much as they used to, and he recognizes that in competition, quote-unquote. Now with Cardi, I don't think there was ever really a problem. I think they're in completely different lanes. I don't even lose them together whatsoever. And they're just both rappers that are from Atlanta, and yeah, obviously that's a Connor connection from way back. But other than that, I don't really get that part. But I'm glad to see Yachty just burying the hatchet and letting it be known publicly. Him running into Uzi is funny. Imagine you open the door and just see Uzi, you're wrong car, bro. Oh, man. But it's a good thing. It's a great thing that class is just all cool with each other. They don't got any problems with each other. We just need a little bit to really play hip-hop like that. So I was not about to say that he will come back. Right hand to God, I promise you I was not going to say that. But thankfully, G Herbo, you know G Herbo won that class too? I'm about to start rambling. I think it's going on for hours. So I'm going to, this is what I know to end the video. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.
And Davis slams it home.
You talk about guys that like to go right to the rim. 80 is towards the top of that list.
And the foul on Anthony Davis. That's his first foul. And we're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. To the paint. Here's Davis. And it's blocked. And that goes out of bounds. They'll keep possession. The home team on D. Outside Davis. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Dumars. James, right side. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
A shot James just continues to work on. Nice execution off the catch there.
The open shot by Allen. Nice start for him. Sinking his first shot.
I mean, what do you expect when you give up the clear look? That's just too easy.
Please welcome Drew McIntyre!
Wayne, I've said it to you all week long, but I reflect on what happened at Montreal. There was something in his eyes that was downright scary, and then we got the result. That was much scarier. That places the great concern for Cody Rhodes' health and welfare.
In fact, we're showing a conclusion of SmackDown last week. McIntyre smashing the scroll of Rhodes Road through our announced table. Completely unconscious. We got very little update regarding the status of Cody and the serious concern for the immediate future of the WWE Champion. And probably anyone else is going to take what sympathy of George McIntyre when it's
So far, they've got things rolling along nicely at the offensive end.
Yeah, they've looked sharp early on with their offense, getting good chances and converting when they take.
285 pounds at full velocity. Just crashing his feet through Cody Rhodes in one of our best.
Yes, and it's Wembanyama picking up the assist.
What a smart pass from Wembanyama. Already adept at scanning the floor and finding other teammates.
And it's Allen who slams it home.
Well, he's a bit of an undersized center. However,
people have been asking me, why did you do what you did, Drew? Why did you Claymore Cody's head right through that announce table? It was so violent, I couldn't wait to see it again. Let's see it again. Play the clip.
The high post. And that one comes up a bit short. Quarter number 2, just over a minute of play. And Sungala gets it to go. And so it's Quinn Snyder here calling timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan.
Now listen closely. I did not attack Cody Rhodes. I know people were watching last week, but your eyes are lying to me as usual. I will explain it to you in a second. But first of all, Joe, where's the medical update? What's going on with Cody? It's been a week now. There's no update. That's so weird. We always after a week. Could somebody be hiding it? Could management be hiding it because of what I did to their golden boy? They don't know how long he's going to be out for. It's all just McIntyre's fault.
Just inside the baseline. Sungala's got 4 points this quarter.
Here's the thing. People think I hate Cody. I don't hate Cody. I feel sorry for Cody. He cares about your cheers so much. He needs that validation from all of you. He cares what management thinks about him. He needs that pat in the back, that attaboy, great job. But the reason I know all of that is because I was 25 years ago. I was in his position, and then I evolved. I realized when we retire, we're gone. You all forget about us, and you move on. You gotta get yours while you can. And I won that WWE title. I've been screwed out more times than I can count. I deserve it. I have earned it.
Pass right in his stride. Didn't have to slow up and was able to complete.
I want it for me.
I believe you.
I want it for my family. I want it for that big paycheck. Cody Rhodes, he needs the WWE Championship.
Opportunity to punch it inside.
Who is Cody without his story?
Yeah, I was about to say, Cody does need it. Cody is nothing without that title.
And he knows it.
Yes, he does. He knows that shit. He definitely knows that shit. He's there.
To the inside.
I did not attack Cody Rhodes last week.
Last touch by Gage.
He attacked me. You don't remember? Let me explain. The AA happens right here. I broke up the pinfall.
Inside.
Cody knocked me to the floor. In fact, let's go through the crime scene right now.
Powered it down.
I was down here when the disqualification happened. The match was legally over, and Cody put my face right into this post. Then he went over to the announce table and started clearing it off. Why would you do that way? Did he want to talk? That should be a fine cuisine. You could have put my arse through the table and take me out. So I defended myself. But why would he do that? Maybe because I told him to his face, I want you to beat Cena. Then I'm going to be the one to take the title off you, Cody. You made the first move, but your biggest mistake was Cody Rhodes is so good at pissing people off. Drew McIntyre is so good at taking people out.
Here's Fernandez. And it's good. Off the back of the
So I am not the bad guy. But if you provoke me, I will just very violent things. If you provoke me,
and continuing to press the advantage.
I'm the real nightmare.
Off the inbound, no good. The Los Angeles Clippers up by 11. And will step away briefly, but gets you right back out there for the start of the third quarter, right after the break.
I've known you a long time, but when it gets to this kind of motion, I am incredibly unnerved in his presence, and the gloating perhaps has subsided, but the concerns and the questions still linger with regards to the health and the future.
Maybe things will tighten up here in the second.
Saying Cody made it personal a long time ago and left him with no choice, but a lot of gaslighting as well there.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, and they got called for a 5-second violation.
When you're trying to cut into a lead, you can't afford that kind of mistake.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Out left to the wing. Pass to Gilmore. Baseline jumper. Good on the bucket. Gilmore's got 13.
He means business. Unlikely to be a comeback on his watch.
Well, this is how you shut
All
the
right,
door.
guys, welcome to the channel.
Keep making good
And
shots
this
and
is
you build the lead.
one of our links in the description box below. Actually, we're going to try to put all the links they're in the description box. So you guys can support us by enjoying the video. You love the content. We'll see more. You guys can cash out, PayPal, link in the description box below. We appreciate everybody support that. Y'all can cop the merch. We'll put a link to get the merchandise in the description box as well. Also, follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, X, and also Instagram. Those links are in the description box. The A Weapons album. So with the A Weapons, he's on that like music. He's on a lot of our intros. R&B album is in the description box. The link to go get that, as well as the weight loss formula, straight drop weight loss formula. Go get that. The link is in the description box below. You guys can subscribe to our podcast, and you guys can go get a free website membership. And all the links, as always, will be down in the description box, and I'll pin it in the top of the comment section as well as a link most of the time to the story that we will bring you guys. You guys can actually see how it's being sourced. But let's get into this video. So today we'll be talking about this situation right here. All right, you guys. So TV live streams, like, share, subscribe, so everybody tapping on this. Let's get right into this video. I told everybody. Shout out to the whole LGBT. Salute to AYPT right now, like music. I told everybody this, and I'm gonna continue to speak on this and keep this 100. A lot of people got upset in my last video when I told the truth. Everybody knows that I love the Heartbreak Kid Kyrie Irving, but I had to tell the truth. Shea has surpassed him. This last year, Shea surpassed a lot of these cats that these dudes been crazy for years. And another one of them is James Harden. We're going to talk about that in this video today, whether you like it or not. Now, Shea Alexander, what I'm going to bring you guys in this video is facts. Not feeling, not innuendo, not lies, not conjunction. I'm bringing y'all facts. Okay? So this is something that you can't argue about. The same way I bought that Kyrie Irving video, I bought I'm bringing factual information that cannot be disputed.
So
because it's facts.
free throws, he was fouled in the act of shooting.
So, let me give y'all some of the places where Shea has basically outshined and outdid James Harden. Right? First of all, let's start with the NBA Championship and Finals MVP. Shea won the NBA Championship this past year, right? Earning final MVP honors for his performance, including that 15-point fourth quarter in Game 4 to secure the 3-2 series lead against the Pacers. James Harden has not won an NBA Championship or Finals MVP, with his closest attempt being a loss in 2012 in the NBA Finals with the Thunder as a sixth man when he stomped the joint up. We already know that. So this is a major accolade that sets Shea apart from James Harden, as winning a championship as the primary star and Finals MVP places him in the elite category that James Harden has not yet reached, even though James Harden has been in the league longer. I know y'all get mad, just get mad. I'm gonna put stuff on with facts, right? Also, as I said,
he's got 15.
James Harden in the league on 15 games. He ain't never been playing
with his production this quarter.
Regular season MVP has been hard, right? Since 2018 now. Shea won the MVP capacity, becoming the first guy. He could have won back-to-back. He could have really won back-to-back the last 2 years, right?
A little under 3.5 minutes off the clock now.
He won the MVP award this past year, becoming the first guard to win the most, right?
Back to Allen.
Trophy. Since James Harden did 2018. While both have won the MVP award, Shea's recent win highlights the ability to dominate as a lead guard in a highly competitive era, outpace the stars like Jokic, Giannis, etc.
23 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Fernandez. The three ball.
Let's get the fuck out of here, nigga.
And the ball ends up out of bounds. And they retain possession.
Now, Shea's MVP at age 27 in his seventh season came earlier than James Harden, who won his in his ninth season in the 2017-2018 season.
The biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
Displays
Gilmore.
How fast he
uses the glass on the layup. Gilmore's got 6 here in the quarter.
Easily won the
Tonight,
MVP.
their attack revolves around him. As he goes,
Easily won that MVP. I thought he should have won that MVP. Now let's talk about the defensive impact. James recognizes superior shooting defender compared to James Harden. He averaged 2 steals per game in 23-24 season and 1.4 steals per game career-wise, slightly below James Harden 1.5 and a strong overall defensive presence, defensive rating and agility. Now, Shea also in 2023-2024 and achieving Harden has never accomplished, right? And Shea widely renowned regardless better defender than James Harden who's often criticized Shea for not playing those defensive lapses, everything, especially in his prime years. Now, earlier in his early years, the defense came in his first 2-3 years, James Harden was playing defense. But then, as soon as he went over defense, it's over. That can't be compared to Shea. He played defense every single year.
So he'll be headed to the line from there.
It's
going to be on Anthony Davis.
everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
particularly in today's NBA team that value versatile defenders. Now, let's go through playoff scoring.
First one falls.
Right? Now, Shea averages 25.8 points per game in the playoffs on 46.8% from the field and 35 from the field. James Harden.
And he's shown
down to a
great
22.5 point on 42.5% from the field and 34% from the three. Now, Shane's 2024 playoff run includes a 30.2 points per game average on 47.6% shooting, outperforming James Harden's best playoff scoring season. Well, James Harden did average 31.6 points in 2019, but on 41%. 41.3% shooting from the field, which is horrible.
Reeves nails both of them.
So basically, he's jacking up a lot of shots and getting free throws. Shane's ability to maintain high efficiency in a postseason, especially as a primary option, contrasts the Harden's reputation for inconsistent playoff performances. Now, let's talk about the mid-range, right? Now, Shea is widely praised for his mid-range game, finishing at the rim, drawing comparisons to a prime James Harden and Kyrie Irving for his game, navigating defense with crafty footwork and body control. Now, Alex Caruso noted that Shane's mid-range game and finishing as reminiscent of James Harden's MVP years in Kyrie Irving's finesse. Shea, 51.9% field goal percentage in his MVP season this past year, on 21.8 shot attempts per game, was unmatched among high-value shooters like Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and Cunningham. Now, Shea's mid-range game and ability to finish with good hand give him a stylistic edge over James Harden, whose scoring relies heavily on step-back threes and free throws. Right? James Harden ain't show y'all none of that other stuff. Y'all get looking crazy as hell. And then, in 15 games against Harden, Shea averaged 25.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.3 on 49.6% shooting. With a 9-5 record against James Harden on matchup. Those performances include a 45-point game on November the 11th, 2024, 61.9% from the field, 50% from the three, 37-point game on January 12th. 2023 with 62.5% from the field, 100% for the three, and James Harden's 14 games against Shea averaged 23.1 points, 8.4 assists, 7.1 rebounds, but shot less efficiently. Right? All of these things have to be added, right? And then the team success, that's not the question. We already know what Shea's done as team, with the team success. So, again, man, this is easy work, man.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Here's Allen. It's good. And the assist that time from Ball.
And so I think I do.
And so
But Shane's superior record and efficiency in direct matchups underscore his ability to outperform James Harden head-to-head, particularly in the secondary primary start. Shea Alexander led the tournament to a 16-14 record, and this past season, no loss in the record and a championship. Harden's best team success in the primary start was the Rockets, and they won 65 games, 3 left, right? And fell short in the Western Conference Finals. Shane's ability to lead the young team to a title in 7 seasons, the past James Harden. Shane's leadership and delivering a championship for a franchise about 5 titles highlights the impact of the 40-zone player. So James Harden ain't never super the main option, man.
Yeah, there's not much else the defender can
now, following the championship season, right? Signing $285 million contract we already know.
Ty Reeves to the paint.
Like I said, James Harden, they just don't pay him no more like that.
Tossing a pass to the interior. That's what you want to do.
Right?
Get into the paint.
The three
so that right there, I was looking at James Harden. That's the 50 time that James Harden to it. Because they showing him, hey man, we're going to pay that guy. After James Harden was the
Another shot right in the lane.
Now, James Harden 15 years compared to Shea 7, gives him a significant edge in overall stats, total stats, like all-star appearances and things like that. But Shea's per game averages and efficiency metrics often surpass James Harden, especially in the playoffs at his time, nigga. And his achievement and fewer seasons highlights his accelerated trajectory. Shea game is built on efficiency, mid-range scoring, two-way play, while Harden relies on volume scoring, playmaking, and drawing fouls.
Right side.
And Shea has a better free throw percentage than Harden. All time.
Left side Reeves.
About 0.1%. James Harden 86.1. Shea 86.2.
For three.
And Shea's style is seen as more sustainable and high
Something you never like to see, but guys, he definitely looks hurt.
And Harden's post-defense struggles, particularly with inefficiency and turnovers, right? Expose him.
Yeah, this can bring a team together. Guys can step up and try to pick up the slack for an injured teammate.
Pass to Gilmore. Over Adebayo. And off the front iron, and it goes. 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Nash. Gay inside. Outside for Davis. Misses the three. Here's Gilmore. Counted by Adebayo. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call.
3.7 per game in the regular season, higher in the playoffs.
30 seconds left in the fourth
compared to Shea's clutch performances like this year's NBA Finals run. At 27 years old, Shea's in his prime while Harden at 36 years old in 2025 and seen a decline in scoring, right? Shea's current dominance contrasts with Harden's longevity for the reign in prime. Think about this, y'all. So, he has been part of several areas. Championship Finals MVP.
They made big plays.
Yeah, they
Hard don't got it.
best basketball
Higher field goal percentage in both the regular season and the playoffs. These hard both ways. Stronger two-way play, including steals titles, and better defensive reputation. Harden loses that too. Playoff performance, Shea has the highest scoring average and efficiency in the postseason. Head-to-head dominance, Shea is 9-5 in their representative with better scoring and efficiency. Team leadership, Shea's won that too, leading OKC to 68 wins. I already told y'all about that. James Harden's never done that. Mid-range scoring and finishing, the elite mid-range scoring and finishing phrase as comparable to Harden's MVP years and Kyrie Irving's finesse. Shea's game has been compared to. Now, while James Harden's longevity, total stats, and playmaking, right, give him an edge in some areas, Shea's efficiency, defensive impact, and championship success at a younger age highlight his unique achievements, right? And again, he won a championship, Harden never did it. Won Finals MVP, Harden never did it. Led the league in steals, Harden never did it. He's past James Harden. There's nothing else to talk about with this shit, bro. And I got a whole list, and I'm going through all the lists, and y'all better check this shit twice with me, because I'm stir-frying anybody. Like, share, subscribe. Keep getting cooked. Come on in the comments with y'all excuses. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe once again. There are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys get all the updates. Also, Straight Drop Weight Loss Formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.
If you need a way to flip your bread or build an online business, you don't want to miss out on our interest meeting and Q&A happening Wednesday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, hosted by the Ticket Blog. We're breaking down what's inside our exclusive seller community and how you can start building a profitable online ticket business from scratch. Tap in live for a special offer, answers to your questions, and the info you need to get started. Go to thetickettribe.com and join us. Again, thetickettribe.com.
Click the link at the top line of the description to get started now. And for the people that's gonna be listening, leave a comment, let us know what y'all think. Last one, man. Let's so I don't know if you heard about one man. He got some issue where he owes like something like $60,000-$70,000 in school, whatever the case may be. Well, Charlamagne talked about this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he actually talked. You gotta hear this shit. He talked about it. Let's talk.
Yeah, the bank is not gonna.
never going to lose that match. I understand too. We get Roman Reigns very sparingly nowadays. We don't get him every single week, every single month. At a number of dates and a limited schedule, he shows up for some big moments and big storylines. But sometimes it can feel like, I think, a little bit of same old for some fans. And it seems like Roman Reigns, or it's announced that Roman Reigns is going to be around. Right now, he kind of just does a run-in, and he's going to Superman punch and spear somebody. It's all great. Live crowd loves it. And we get, the occasional promo of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, for example. But I personally find it very enjoyable when Roman Reigns was with the Bloodline, and the stories had a lot more layers. I mean, Roman Reigns was around maybe a little bit more back then, but he was still, off TV for weeks at a time, and the Bloodline were the ones supporting the Roman Reigns character, the story arc of the Bloodline on TV every week. But I love the dynamics that he...
Female My players aren't going to be in NBA 2k26 My Career confirmed. Out in the park, only my team. And I'm going to go over the builder in 2k26, and it could possibly ruin online games. Literally. And I'm going to, help you save some bread. Hey, if y'all want some more NBA 2k26 updates without the throat hugging on the knees, y'all hit the like button. Show some love. Now look, 2K tweet is out, just happened, about the W. So the W is returning. They might not be putting the bitches in the park. Now the W is a dumb mode, nobody plays it, but they've added VC in it, so it might be a VC method. So people are thinking right here, this confirms that females won't be in the park. Take your skills online in multiplayer matches to earn rewards, including mascots, outfits, and costumes. Earn VC in the W, earn some cards for my team. Hopefully they put the bitches in the park just to help expand the game. I wouldn't do it. I don't really care. I know some of y'all be mad and all this, but females is in every video game, dog. They gonna have some damn press conferences. And this could be an indication on how my career is going to be somewhat. Relevant stories circulating, talk about some social media. This GOAT stuff might be in my career. You know how they like to copy paste after building your my player. So it's like, they saying my player here, but isn't, does that mean it ain't going to be my player there? Now look at this. I want to show y'all this builder stuff. We're going to tap back into the female my player. New information. As y'all can see, it's the build specialization, right? Go forward, make 250 mid-range shots or 250 3-point shots. Played 50 games with 5 or more jump shots. Now look, do you guys think everyone's going to play my career for this? I think this is going to be the year where it's going to be the worst with the randoms, guys, especially with this build specialization. And it's going to be all years. People are going to keep making builds, new cap breakers, and for random modes, that's where they really go to level them up. My career is so damn boring. So just look at this, bro. Like 500 mid-range or 3-point, like people are going to start chucking, bro. They're not going to be trying to keep their field goal percent. Look at this. Shooting cap breaker, right? They're going to be spamming. Like, do y'all know how many shots this is? Now, look at this, right? You guys got to think, man. This is really going to change the reality of 2K. It's going to make it bad. It might actually help people get a bag, to be honest, because it'll force them to shoot and not be so just run to the rim and hold square, maybe. But I think most people, they won't even know about this. I ain't gonna know, unless there's some type of tutorial that just pop up. So look, think about this. So for instance, to get 500 mid-range shots, say you make 6 mid-ranges a game, that's a lot. That is a lot, especially for an average person. Maybe not someone that's super skilled, but for an average person, 6, that's a lot. So think about that. If you do the math, 500 divided by 6, 83. That's 83 games. That's a lot of games. That means for 83 games, you have to make 6 minutes. That means for the average person, it's going to take them way more games. Or you got to make 6 threes. Bro, that's so much. Guys, that's hundreds of games for the average person. Skilled people will be able to do it, but these bots, bro, they're going to be chucking. They are going to be chucking, my soul, guys. They are chucking. And shooting's going to be the biggest one, bro. I don't know. There might be a my career method to really try to figure stuff out, but I recommend, man, guys, if y'all need people to play with, join the Core. The link is in the description. We already got like 20,000 people in there, man. Help build a Discord. Make a Discord. You need people to run. Join the Discord. Build it up, man. Turn off the noties so you won't get annoyed. But this is crazy, y'all. I don't think people really think this is gonna. And look, to get the +1, you need shooting archetype. Win 100 games with 5 or more jump shots made in each win, bro. Not everyone's going to do this in my career. People are going to be chucking. Not make an inside center. I know people are saying that. If you make an inside center, you're literally a bad human being. Almost no one can shoot in the game. So you're just ruining the whole offense. You're going to be throwing guys. You're literally a bad person. Most randoms, 95%, they have no off dribble game. Their only game is running to the rim and holding square or backdoor cuts. You put the best paint defender in the paint, you're not a post scorer, you're literally a bad human being. Okay? So if any creators are telling y'all to make inside centers in the beginning, oh my God, guys, they're not going to be able to shoot all year. Dummies. In what 2K were randoms ever able to shoot? Never. During what portion of the year? Never. So guys, don't make an inside center unless you are a post scorer or you are literally a bad person. Please cuss out your teammates who have inside centers and put that knowledge on them. But think about this. 5 jump shots. If y'all actually play with randoms, y'all know this is rare for someone to have 5 jumpers, and everyone's going to be going for this type of stuff, guys. So it's like, they're going to force that, bro. Kind of funny. Get the max +1? This is crazy. I don't think y'all really thought of it. Look at this. The other shooting cap breaker. 1,000. Larry Bird jersey. Should be a Larry Bird face skin. Doing your job for you, boy. 1,000. I don't think it's combined because it says or. It's going to be like a meter or like where like it reveals the number, but guys, 1,000. We already did the math here, so it's like 83, just making 6 attempts. So you could double that, but it's so unlikely, bro. 83 times 2 is 166. So to get up 6 shots a game, you got to be like stupid locked. But for randoms, that's nuts. Like it's probably going to take them like 500 games of really chucking, bro. The reality of playing with randoms is going to be insanity, guys. It's literally going to be insane. Imagine the other ones, guys. Imagine the other build specialization. This is 2,000. And for the max, that's what's 2. Bro, they're not doing all this in my career. 2,000? Guys, they're going to be playing with random modes. They're going to be chucking, my boy. 180. Look, 6. Oh, my God. Now look, 83. Just how many games? Yeah.
It's time to rise, to learn with the latest tech, and to gain hands-on experience, to start leading the future of healthcare.
That was clean. Try Clean. Keep it clean. Not going to give you a piece, just a tip. Tip code Try Clean Gas keeps your engine clean and your ride smooth. Great. Can it fix my fun? No. But it can keep your car's fuel injectors clean.
Clean injectors? You know what? I need to get the signal.
Y'all, we already did this one. And this one, that's like 249. That's a lot of games, guys. For the average person, bro, it might take them 700 games to get enough shots. To get this, it's very vital. They're going to be chucking, bro. It's over. You got to have stats for it. Now, look, boom. Like, Wayne be DMing her. She be play testing the game. Look what she's saying. Now, let me know how y'all feel about this. We already got the confirmation of the females in my team. And she's asking for their height to actually be taller. Like, Angel Reese is 6'3". She wants Angel Reese to be 6'8" in the actual game. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Y'all think that's fair? No. Quality, that means you don't really get to do that. But, equity, this is different things. But we already know my team's all about height. Even if they get the best SIGs, I don't know. Some people under the post, they view it as it's not fair because why can't they get a 6'10 Curry? Why can't you get a 6'8 Lillard? But you get to get these NBA players tall as hell to make them, I don't know. It seems kind of unfair to scale their heights in a sense. And right here, Allen Iverson, I don't know how I feel about it, man. It does seem unfair. Because if I was a my team player, I have a lot of players that I really love. Like, damn, why can't I ever use Golden Westbrook? And you probably can't in my team because he's short. You got to use other people. But here's the top 10 post control NPCs. Y'all let me know if y'all think this is correct. A lot of people are mad that Anthony Davis ain't on here. I think it's rightfully so. They're saying that they lost rights for Anthony Davis because he's never in these top 10. Top 10 WNBA players. Now look, they scaling because we know they would be 60s, 50s overalls when compared to the men, but they scaling them here. So on my team, they gonna be frying people. It's gonna be getting fried by it. They want them to get scaled taller. How y'all feel about that? How would y'all feel getting cooked by this? There's the W. They got Clayton Clark. Yeah, she looked better in the game than in real life, low key. They got the eye job, it Paige, man. But you know what's so funny? If they put the bitches in the park, people are gonna make drippy face scans of females. It's gonna be so funny. It's gonna go viral. I wanna go viral. Y'all be sure to do that. Top 10 high flyers. I don't know why Giannis isn't on this list. Y'all let me know if y'all think this is good. We got some loony comparisons. 2K added updated body types and muscle definition in NBA 2K26. Luka changes. Y'all be sure to click the video on the screen, man.
But hey,
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball.
I get so many questions
This
about
is
how
Kevin
I keep my
Harlan.
kitchen
I'm joined by Richard
So let me give
Jefferson
you a
and Greg
quick tour.
Anthony.
On my counter, I
And
just
David Aldridge will be reporting from the sideline.
really great because it
We've
doesn't
got
get
the San
microplastics
Antonio
into while you're
Spurs
cooking. I also
facing
love to
the
display
Oklahoma
my
City
cutting board
Thunder.
set, which is made of birchwood. I store
Out to the
my
wing.
food storage and cookware down here. No PTFE,
And it's
no
Johan
PFOA,
Missing.
and no PFAS. Really thinking about chemicals or microplastics. Because there's a color
MP with it.
and it comes with
Out
organizers.
guarded by
Everything
Wembanyama.
upright and easy to grab. I've
And the
also got my
basket is
food
good.
storage down here. It's 14
And great
feet
job
all
from Homer.
glass,
I
all
like when he
stackable, and they don't
shows
worry about
confidence
sticks.
what's
attacking
up,
inside.
y'all? The Aiden Ross and
Vassell
Tyson
outside.
and Cold War keeps ramping up. Recently, it wasn't even anything to do with Aiden
Now, here's
Ross.
Thompson.
Well, it did have to do with Ty in this case. But the clip in question
To the wing on the
started
left.
from a
5
leak
on the
that
clock.
happened of Tyson at
Screen by
upcoming
MP.
Total Drama Island rendition
missing.
on stream. So let's let you guys got a clip right now.
Here's MP. There's the drive. And the rejection by Wembanyama. Inside. Good D by Holmgren. And here's MP. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Gilgeous Alexander. That one's no good. 0 of 1 to begin the game. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Let's just say that was an ill-advised pass there. Very close to a turnover.
To the paint. Here's Wembanyama. And Wembanyama throws it down.
Wembanyama is a specimen. And at
So
the
as
rim
you
there
hear
with
in
a
this clip, I initially thought
And
that
Gilgeous
this
Alexander
was
throws it
just
down.
some person like babysitting. I thought it was one of those situations where a good thing is trying to get a really good headline, so they put this out. However, it
Took
does
the
seem
opportunity
to be
when he
true
saw it.
because in the beginning you
Vassell
can hear
has
them
no
talk about like,
conscience
this
behind the
is
arc. He will not
confident.
hesitate to get it up.
This should be, you can feel free to talk here. This is a little bit weird because it sounds like he's being invited. So this is what the caption says. The caption says that Ty's dad was invited as Twitch streamer, and she forgot to do the stream. This Jordan girl. But when the people are talking to her, they're saying Ty's dad owns the patent to the streamer island. Patent. Isn't it just the IP or the trademark? I think it's the trademark. I don't think
it's San Antonio with a 3.
I'm pretty sure
Sometimes you watch Wembanyama and think this guy is
like that, but not random idea. Well, patent fancy for an idea, but not streamer island. You guys get what I'm going. But if they were inviting her, if they were part of patent, they were inviting her, then they wouldn't say, oh, he owns the patent to streamer island, then it's people left, right, and center. So this to be somebody else that's inviting. And who else can invite her other than me? Who else has gotten out of time?
Pass to Vassell. Misses the 3. And Gilgeous Alexander's got the ball here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Trailing by 4. And the turnover again by Oklahoma City.
guys that clip first. One thing that I will confirm that I will be doing in the future.
And the Spurs with possession here. And there's a minute 45 left in the first quarter of the game. Vassell outside. Pass to Wembanyama. Banked in off the glass. Wembanyama's got 7 points.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
He was
a big ride.
But a lot of things are being talked about, and I'm seeing it. But one of my things that I'm doing
Vassell outside to the inside. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws.
That's an ass nigga, man. This nigga Kyle always want to hate Kyle.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance here for the Spurs?
From the tip, they are not making things easy on them. Lots of steals play disruptive basketball.
Under trailing by 7.
I don't hate that nigga. I just don't like to watch him. I don't think he's the hottest. I never did. I always thought it was easy. I think he's always good.
Right off the catch and fire.
Now here's Thompson. Here's
Them niggas be having bitches around. These niggas never have bitches around. Doing shit.
Come at us, we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, I love the competitive fire right there. You drain the triple on us, and I'm coming for my revenge.
Gilgeous Alexander with the rebound. Down low. Here's MP. And the dunk by MP.
I think this idea is really dope. I think it's really cool. Original, there's nothing new under the sun. I think people overrate original. We're going to get into that topic later in the video. But Tyson had announced this idea before. The day after, or well, same day, really. Aiden Ross replied to him. I'm going to back there.
Here's Whistleblower's basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Come together. So Aiden Ross wanted to team up with Kyle.
Here's MP.
He just bought Island.
On the clock.
Down to fund it. This was at a
So it's
time
the
when
San
I was not
Antonio
mentioning Aiden, but I was
in the driver's seat. Up
that,
8
yeah,
points at the end of the
July
quarter.
when
Their
everything
shooting
would
has
blow
been the
off
big
top.
key. Their percentage for the
Chicken Big Mac incident, which is, for those unfamiliar, it's when Aiden Ross's manager calls ties and that when the McDonald's thing happens.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter of action so far. Guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Okay. And then after
you
this,
can see
Aiden
these guys are
also
unafraid
talks
to
about
take
the island
chances
idea with
defensively.
Lace. Someone
Yeah,
puts
they're
guys
putting
back.
pressure on all the handlers, getting into the passing lanes and showing great anticipation.
And with the lead, I like the strategy. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
This is when
And
really
we will basically be inviting other streamers to play the rivalry. So we're going to have the island picked out. The person's actually gifting me the island.
Free
Now Thompson.
Shout out my nigga Benny Hunter.
A screen.
I don't like Aiden Ross either.
And the
Too
pass by
much
Castle.
So island is coming.
Castle's got the lead up to 13 now for the
Aiden Lazy
Spurs.
XQC. We need one more person.
Castle continues
So here,
to
he's
work
saying
on
he
it.
got
It's
gifted
crucial
an
that he
island,
becomes more
he's bought an
consistent.
island. I don't know what truth is,
Second
but he
quarter
has an
basketball,
idea
about
for
1
some
minute
sort of
played so
content,
far.
sort of thing on an island. And then Aiden Ross's moderator
Thompson surveying
reacts
the
to the
floor.
clip that we posted
In the
first.
corner, so
What do you
in
guys
with
got? Bro, this is actually pretty insane that this happened.
Kicks it out to
Bro,
MP.
he gave Tyson his career. Now you're stealing his
Find the shoot.
Streamer Island. Bro,
Ran with the
this is not
screen.
cool. Yo,
And here's
Tyson, bro.
MP
We're gonna have
for
to
three.
slow down, bro. 16 University. Let
As
Aiden Ross have
Oklahoma
the
City,
island, bro.
11-point game.
Let him have something for himself.
MP outside.
Three.
Pass to Holmgren.
Been a nigga, boy.
Cash in from close
Boy,
range.
what the fuck is you talking about being a nigga? Why is you saying that shit so comfortably, my boy? He's there.
I feel like we're
Kevin, thanks. A move that likely helped the league's parity by
Damn.
shortening max contract length. Silver says
And we can also
Doing nowadays,
dead
bro.
money. Star player toward those end years sitting on on the
you never
bench.
know. But either way, I think the whole like, have something for himself is, I think he's stretching it a little bit. This Lillard guy has also gone on to criticize Tyson product. He's been on a Tyson I wouldn't say slander, that's too strong of a word here. But the idea for an island, now I do think the streamer island getting trademarked, like diversity, but this guy is really about his empire. I wouldn't say paper, because he's doing a lot of Tyson has to be a lot more profitable, spending a lot less money. But I think he's about his legacy, his brand. So he's investing in a ton of money. That's why I want to say he's about his paper. That's why he's trademarking the ideas. But it just goes to show a difference in personality. Aiden Ross, really, he's not someone that was consistent with what we've seen. And the idea about it being original is we've got so many different island shows. So like, wasn't Tristan Tate on some island show in the UK, like 10 years ago or something like that? So there's that. There's also, I thought I got a scratch. I was about to have a heart attack. Anyway, there's Survivor. Survivor was real. There's so many different island shows. This is all taken from television. The idea that any streamer has something quote-unquote original there are actually original things, but the idea of originality is just how far back in the past can you go? Because if nobody else is doing it, you went far back enough in the past that you're now deemed original. Kind of. That's also good. So we hit both free throws. Although we have guys.
And I like how MP carries himself. It's a big reason why his teammates enjoy playing with him.
I do think that we're going to see a lot of this game now. The streamer island guys. Aiden Ross, he's got an island. The fans are going to pick up a lot because they're going to talk about like, you copying time. They're going to say, I'm copying Aiden. Aiden did announce it first though. And Aiden has been the events guy. Like, the guy's got brand risk. The guy's constantly put on events. Guy's not University, which was bigger than really anything within roster. But that's because Kai has a major sponsor and is willing to back it. Like University of Akron, wasn't it? The one that led his the whole facility. I don't know if that's the case with Aiden Ross. I think Aiden Ross has people that mess with him that are rich, whoever did this island. But I don't think companies or institutions are really messing with things like that. I could say I don't know why, but I'm not going to do that.
Attacking a reckless abandon. MP going
yourself, associated with what he said in the past, things like that. I don't think he's a malicious guy whatsoever, but there is a potential of a lot of negative blowback from a company if they work with Aiden Ross. That is not the same with Tyson. Tyson doesn't have a same game. Although it is growing. The reason that people hate on Tyson is just because he's there's no legitimate reason to hate on Tyson. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm never sorry. I'm not going to pretend that there is. Now, you're like, three-pointer, no good. However that relationship happened, sure, but that's a behind-the-scenes thing. And you don't know into the details of that. So you can't hate on him over to the left wing or whatever you believe he said.
Again, that shit, bro.
But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Jump shot has been the biggest question mark for Castle. So it's
he
good
talked
to
about
see
the idea first, and then he had the island as well, and this Barton Island. The kid got down and bought the island, then he had the idea long before. With Tyson X, I think probably just had a trademark and then talked about it on stream. Because he was just talking about it as an idea. He didn't announce anything yet. So the fact that he didn't announce it, he's still in the planning stages, as it looks like he still is right now. But for those of you that are really unemployed or really high school, let me know if you're really happy. You have the details of his first blood on the ball. I don't think it was Tyson X, just from the conversation. Or Tyson X, just from the conversation. And if it's not, then who is? It's not Aiden. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe.
They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Spurs leading by 17. Wembanyama, a screen. And that's good. MP for three. MP's got 11 points.
MP doing a great job letting the play develop, making the defense pick their poison.
Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Back to MP. The rebound by Victor Wembanyama. On offense, here are the Spurs. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. MP with it. Now defended by MP. Vassell outside. And here's MP for three. And it's MP with the rebound. And they double up MP. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander outside. Diversified scoring in this one for him.
I love when everyone can get involved, a full team effort.
Back to MP. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. And stolen by Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. 5 points in the game. And the three ball is good. 14 points for him.
MP works to refine his shooting mechanics every day, and it shows up in his game.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Commissioner Silver has been direct. The NBA is hoping for more competitive All-Star games. Now, they've said as much before, but last year's high-scoring All-Star game did precede the league's not-so-subtle moves to cut down on foul calls and allow for more defense overall. They are trying to get it right. Kevin?
And it couldn't be a great game without defense, so we like the direction. DA, thank you. A three-pointer is right on target. Holmgren's got 5 now.
And with that threat of the outside jumper, Holmgren generates space for this offense.
First team foul. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. The drive by MP.
The young buck, MP taking off there.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander.
We'll never have another rivalry like the Warriors and the Thunder had from 2013 to 2017. Every game they played, that span was more intense than the previous one. From game-winning buzzer beaters to a playoff heartbreak, and from brotherhood to betrayal of the century. This rivalry had everything.
Number 7 on the night, 7 for 11 from the floor.
MP just stepping right into that three.
It's MP. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And here's MP for three.
Wild three shot entire arena. But there were still
trailing by 21
on the clock. Just enough for a miracle.
And the layup falls.
SGA will make more room for himself on the perimeter when he can be effective down low.
And Wembanyama throws it down.
He's earning his key offensively, a key part of their winning effort at this point.
Pass to MP. He's looking for Wembanyama. He finds him.
And a monster game for Wemby with the matchup issues he creates. I'm not sure anyone in this league can stop him when he's on.
Every day if you really want to literally choose one. If you don't already have one, take this as your sign.
There's 49 seconds left
What
to
the
play in the
hell
third.
we throwing alley-oops to Lil Jordan?
Pass to Castle. Thompson outside. To the middle. Here's Wembanyama.
Oh, great decision there. Get it to Wembanyama and let Victor finish.
As the buzzer causing madness in the Oracle. Under Mark Jackson, the Suns were led by the young Splash brothers and David Lee, who was an all-star the year prior. And they wanted to show the world that they have something real brewing down there. Meanwhile, the Thunder were already established amongst the West Elite with KD and Russ in their prime. And just 2 weeks later, the Twins met again in Oklahoma for a rematch. And the visitors were on the brink of another upset in Oklahoma. This happened.
Pretty much any shot is a good shot.
Yeah, he's shown terrific control of the pace and the rhythm of this offense.
He's locked in with his teammates right now, setting guys up in perfect position.
By drilling the daggers, they look at his absolute delirium. But in their last game of the season, Brody couldn't do anything to help his team watch with the sidelines.
We'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters.
42-41, and Westbrook toppling away.
Playing with the franchise heart and soul. While the Lakers chase history, the West
as a playmaker, he has great
in the offseason, the Dallas Mavericks, led by owner Mark Cuban's division, added veteran Tim Hardaway to complement Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash. They hope to prove themselves as legitimate contenders. Sacramento, still stinging from last year's sweep by the Lakers, added tough defensive presence in Doug Christie and Bobby Jackson, strengthening their bench depth to match the dynamic starting four. In the Eastern Conference, New Jersey quietly transformed overnight.
Here's Oklahoma City now.
After years of mediocrity, the Nets acquired Jason Kidd from Phoenix in exchange for Stephon Marbury. Kidd instantly turned the Jersey into the league's most exciting show. Orchestrating a dazzling fast-breaking pass, its impact was immediate. Not only improving the Nets' record dramatically, but also instilling newfound confidence in a franchise desperate for respect. Meanwhile, disappointment festered in Milwaukee. After coming tantalizingly close to the finals the previous season, Ray Allen, Glenn Robinson, and Dan Cassell were talented but frustrated. Rumors swirled about internal conflict, defensive lapses, and questionable team chemistry. The Bucks' regression puzzled fans and analysts alike, reinforcing how quickly championship windows can slam shut. The Wizards' captivated headlines
over a minute of the fourth quarter going right now.
He is the only QB in NFL history with over 30,000 passing yards and 5,000 rushing yards. He holds the record for the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback. And in his MVP season, he led the Panthers to a 15-1 record while accounting for 45 total touchdowns. At his peak, he was unstoppable. But just a few years later, everything fell apart. Injuries, scheme changes, and questionable coaching decisions turned a league MVP into a quarterback team he didn't want to sign. Some say his physical play style made him destined to burn out, while others argue he never had the right supporting cast to reach his full potential. So how good was Cam Newton's
Scores off the spin.
Well, to find out, let's go back to Westlake High School in Atlanta, where Cam's football career took off. His father, Cecil Newton Sr., played safety in college, and his older brother, Cecil Jr., made it to the NFL as an offensive lineman. But even in a football household, Cam stood out. By the time he entered high school, he was already 6'4", 230 pounds, and built like a star linebacker.
Got 10 points in just the second half.
A great sign for MP in his career, the ability to convert in traffic.
Back to MP. Broke loose. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
Wanted to play quarterback. As a 16-year-old junior, he threw for 2,500 yards with 23 touchdowns, while adding 638 rushing yards and 9 more scores, leading his team to a state championship. He had a rocket arm, elite speed, and a swagger that made him must-see football on Friday nights. But it wasn't just the stats that made him special. It was how he played. Defenders bounced off him like he was a running back. He could flick the ball 50 yards downfield with ease, and when the game was on the line, he took over. And by the end of his high school career, Rivals.com rated him a 5-star prospect and the #2 dual-threat QB in the nation. With his talent, every major college program won. But Newton had his sights set on one of the biggest powerhouses in the country, the University of Florida. Now, unlike his high school career, his college career started out slow, because he was joining peak Florida years with reigning Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow as a starting quarterback. So, he would have to wait his turn. But when he finally got his chance during his sophomore year, everything fell apart. Because in the first game of the season, he suffered a season-ending ankle injury. And if that wasn't bad enough, he was also arrested for allegedly stealing a laptop that same year.
Great to see a young player making the right decisions with the ball.
in my life that don't define who I really am.
Facing potential discipline from the team, Newton left Florida and was forced to take a different path, junior college. But while most quarterbacks in his position disappear after leaving a powerhouse program, Newton is the opposite. At Lynn College in Texas, he put up over 3,000 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and led the team to a JUCO national championship. Suddenly, he was the most sought-after QB in the country. Again, only this time, he chose to take his talents to Auburn. And in just 1 year, Newton delivered one of the greatest single seasons in college football history. He threw for 2,854 yards, rushed for 1,473 more, and accounted for 50 total touchdowns, which was enough to earn him the Heisman Trophy. But his dominance came with controversy. Back before the days of NIL, reports surfaced that Newton's father had tried to negotiate a pay-for-play deal with Mississippi State prior to the season. According to NCAA investigations, Newton's father and a recruit named Kenny Rogers had wanted up to $180,000 in exchange for Cam's commitment to Mississippi State before he ultimately chose Auburn.
My father was playing with me. It was
on his way to the rack.
Devastating for me.
So now, everyone questioned whether Auburn made a similar offer, though no evidence was ever found. Every week, media speculation grew. Some fans and analysts were worried that Auburn's storybook season would be ruined. Others argued that Newton's Heisman Trophy should be revoked. Still, none of it could stop him. He ultimately carried Auburn to a 14-0 record and led the Tigers to a national championship victory. In 1 year, he went from junior college exile to the best player in the country. And with the #1 pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers made it official. Cam Newton was the future of the league. But there were doubts. Many questioned if his run-heavy college style would work in the NFL, and others were concerned that he only played one real season of Division I football. So it was time for Newton to put up or shut up. And in his first NFL game, Newton threw for 422 passing yards, the most ever by a rookie in their debut. Just a week later, he followed that up with 432 yards, becoming the first quarterback in history to throw for 400-plus yards in each of his first 2 games. Suddenly, the questions about whether he had an NFL-caliber arm disappeared. But he wasn't just lighting it up through the air. He was also dominating on the ground. Newton's combination of size, speed, and power made him nearly impossible to stop in short yardage and red zone situations. By the end of the year, he had 14 rushing touchdowns, breaking the NFL's single-season record for a quarterback. He finished the season with 4,051 passing yards, the most by a rookie in history at the time, 21 passing touchdowns, 706 rushing yards to go along with all his touchdowns on the ground. And he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award with ease. He was unlike anything the league had ever seen, and Newton brought an entirely new swagger to the Panthers. His confidence, playmaking ability, and now iconic Superman celebration made him one of the most electrifying players in the NFL from day one. Newton had taken a team that went 2-14 the year before and made them relevant again as a rookie. So, naturally, Carolina was expected to take a step forward next season. But the year didn't start that way. Through the first half of the season, Newton and the Panthers struggled. The offense was inconsistent, turnovers became a problem, and Carolina opened their campaign 1-6, with Cam throwing just 5 touchdowns to 8 interceptions in those games. The same quarterback who looked unstoppable as a rookie suddenly looked frustrated. His leadership was questioned, and his body language on the sideline, especially after losses, became a major talking point. Some analysts started to wonder if he had hit a wall, or if defenses had figured out how to slow him down. But those narratives didn't last long, because over the second half of the season, Newton flipped a switch. In the final 8 games, he was one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league, throwing 13 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions, while also rushing for 4 more scores. His completion percentage went up, his decision-making improved, and the Panthers started winning. They closed the season 5-1, but unfortunately missed the playoffs once again. Regardless, closing the year on that sort of run left fans with plenty of optimism going into the next season. And in 2013, Carolina reverted back to their old ways. The Panthers opened the year 1-3, with Newton struggling in key moments. And after a tough Week 4 loss to the Cardinals, where he threw 3 interceptions, questions about his consistency and whether or not he was actually a franchise quarterback resurfaced. But over the next 2 months, the Panthers caught fire, winning 8 straight games. And Newton played the best football of his career, leading game-winning drives against the Patriots and 49ers, 2 of the best teams in the league. Against New England on Monday Night Football, he outdueled Tom Brady, throwing for 209 yards, 3 touchdowns, and delivering the game-winning score in the final minutes.
Newton firing, it is caught on the run, inside the 10, 10 again!
He finished that season with 3,379 passing yards and 24 passing touchdowns. But it wasn't just his arm. Newton's mobility continued to be a nightmare for defenses, as he racked up 585 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. But more importantly, he became a true leader, carrying the Panthers to an NFC South title with a 12-4 record. And for the first time since 2008, Carolina made the playoffs. They lost in the divisional round, and it looked like at last the Panthers had arrived, or so we thought. Before the 2014 season even began, Newton underwent surgery for an ankle injury that had bothered him for years.
$5 a day, invested for 1 year, and you could have $1,900. $5 a day.
I'm glad that it happened. My ankle is getting back, and it's feeling stronger than ever.
Then, in the preseason, he suffered a fractured rib, forcing him to miss week 1. And that's just the beginning of the struggles. Because when Newton returned in week 2, his mobility, which was his greatest weapon, was severely limited. The Panthers started 3-2, but the offense was inconsistent, and the defense took a major step back from its dominant 2013 form. It felt like everything was on the verge of collapse. And it was. From week 6 to week 13, the Panthers didn't win a single game, going 0-6-1. The offensive line was awful, causing Newton to take relentless hits. And the lack of weapons around him didn't help. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, disaster struck. On December 9th, just days after leading the Panthers to a win over the Saints, Newton was involved in a serious car accident.
NFL star Cam Newton, quarterback recovering in the hospital this morning after a frightening car crash. His pickup flipped after colliding with another car.
His truck was filled with multiple times, and he suffered 2 fractures in his back. It looked like his season was over. With the unpredictable nature of back injuries, some even thought his career could be over. But not Cam Newton. He had other plans.
I'm looking at this truck and I'm like, somebody's supposed to be dead. And, I just can't stop smiling because it's like God had his hands on me.
Just 2 weeks after the accident, he'd already returned to the field. And he didn't just play. He led Carolina to back-to-back wins to close the season. On top of that, thanks to the NFC South being historically weak, the Panthers won the division with a 7-8-1 record, making the playoffs despite their losing record. In the wild card round, Newton led Carolina to a 27-16 win over the Arizona Cardinals, his first career playoff victory. But the Panthers' run ended the following week with a 31-17 loss to the Seahawks. Still, the message was clear. Cam Newton was a true warrior. He overcame injuries, a weak supporting cast, and a near-death experience to drag his team to the playoffs and get a win. And that toughness was rewarded as he was given a new contract entering the 2015 season. Plus, he finally had a healthy body and a bigger chip on his shoulder than ever. But just before the season began, Carolina suffered a devastating setback. Their number 1 receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, tore his ACL in training camp. Without Benjamin, the Panthers were left with one of the weakest receiving corps in the league. So most analysts wrote them off. And they probably would have been right if it weren't for Cam carrying his team at an historic level. From the very start, Newton played with a different level of confidence. In fact, he led Carolina to a 14-0 start, making impossible plays week after week, whether it was stiff-arming defenders, throwing pinpoint deep passes, or running through linebackers. He was simply unstoppable. Newton threw for 3,837 yards and 35 touchdowns. But what made his season special was how he dominated as both a passer and a runner. He racked up 636 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns, becoming the first NFL quarterback in history to throw for 30-plus touchdowns and rush for 10-plus touchdowns in a single season. By year's end, it wasn't just about the stats. Newton had completely changed the way the quarterback position was used in the NFL. Never before had we seen the freakiest athlete on the field also be the quarterback. And for his dominance, Newton was named NFL MVP, becoming the first quarterback in history to win the award while leading his team in rushing touchdowns. And his season was far from finished, because after going 15-1, the Panthers entered the playoffs as the number 1 seed in the NFC. And Newton, yet again, took his game to another level. In the divisional round against Seattle, he helped Carolina jump out to a 31-0 lead, completely dismantling the Legion of Boom. Then, in the NFC Championship game against Arizona, he put on one of the greatest playoff performances ever, throwing for 335 yards, 2 touchdowns, and adding 2 more rushing scores in a 4 49-15 beatdown. Cam was truly at the peak of his powers, and Carolina was heading to Super Bowl 50. Enter the Denver Broncos elite defense. Led by Von Miller, the Broncos sacked Newton 6 times, forced multiple fumbles, and held Carolina to just 10 points in the big game. But the most brutal blow came in the fourth quarter. When down 16-10, Newton fumbled, and instead of diving for the ball, he made a business decision.
Decides not to jump down in there and back to wait on it.
A move that still haunts him to this day.
It ain't no excuse for not jumping on the phone. I should have jumped.
Denver recovered, sealed the win, and just like that, Newton's dream season ended in heartbreak. But despite the Super Bowl loss, Cam Newton's 2015 season remains one of the most dominant by a quarterback in NFL history. And for that reason, it felt like the 26-year-old was just entering his prime, but somehow things started to go downhill. In 2016, Newton and the Panthers were out of sync. The offense that had looked so unstoppable the year before now seemed sluggish and inconsistent. During the season opener against the Broncos, Newton took several brutal hits to the head, some of which clearly should have drawn penalty flags. No calls were made. He was battered all night by Denver's defense as the Panthers lost 21-20. The offensive line that had protected Cam so well the year before suddenly looked overmatched. The defense took a step back after losing star cornerback Josh Norman in free agency. And most importantly, Newton just wasn't playing at the same level. Through the first 4 weeks, he had more turnovers than passing touchdowns. Carolina stumbled to a 1-3 record. Then during a Week 4 game against the Atlanta Falcons, Newton took a vicious hit while trying to score on a 2-point conversion. And not even Cam's toughness could make him immune to a concussion, forcing him to miss Week 5. But what many didn't realize at the time was that he had also injured his throwing shoulder earlier in the season. Newton played through the pain for the rest of the year. It was obvious that something wasn't right.
Look at you. See how easy that is, nigga?
Looked off, and his accuracy was fading. By mid-season, the injury had worsened, limiting his ability to throw deep passes. Then, finally, he revealed that he had been playing with a partially torn rotator cuff, an issue that would eventually require surgery. The losses piled up. Newton tried to keep the Panthers afloat, but without a healthy shoulder and an inconsistent supporting cast, Carolina never found its rhythm. After a Week 13, 40-7 whooping at the hands of the Seahawks, the Panthers were officially eliminated from playoff contention, just 1 year after going 15-1. So Newton spent the offseason recovering from shoulder surgery. And while the hope was that he would get back to the MVP version of himself, there were serious concerns about his overall health. At his best, Newton was one of the most unstoppable forces in the league. But could he continue playing his powerhouse brand of football after already taking so many hits and playing through so many injuries? The 2017 season started off slow, but by mid-season, Newton had rediscovered his rhythm. He wasn't quite playing at his 2015 MVP level, he was still one of the most dangerous dual-threat quarterbacks in the league. The Panthers' run game was unstoppable thanks to the combination of Cam and rookie running back Christian McCaffrey. Cam led game-winning drives against the Vikings, Packers, and Buccaneers, showing that he could still take over when it mattered most. And by the end of the year, the Panthers finished 11-5, earning a wild card spot in the playoffs. Newton finished the regular season with 3,302 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, and another 754 yards, along with 6 touchdowns on the ground. In their wild card matchup with the New Orleans Saints, Carolina trailed 31-19 late in the fourth quarter. Newton refused to go down without a fight. He threw for 3 yards and 2 touchdowns, nearly leading a miraculous comeback before the Panthers fell just short, losing 31-26. But even in his game, Cam's performance reminded everyone that he was still special. That said, by the end of the season, he was once again dealing with shoulder soreness and limited throwing power, a problem that would only grow worse in the coming years. In 2018, Newton came out on fire. He was taking quicker reads and was completing passes at a career-high rate. The Panthers started 6-2, and Cam was playing some of the best football of his career. Carolina's offense was clicking. Christian McCaffrey was emerging as a superstar, and Cam himself was spreading the ball around efficiently. But then everything fell apart. In Week 10 against the Steelers, Newton took a crushing hit from TJ Watt while throwing, and the shoulder that had been a lingering problem throughout his career was never the same. Over the next 7 games, Newton's arm strength vanished. His deep passes lost velocity, and he struggled to push the ball downfield. His accuracy dropped, and the Panthers collapsed. After starting 6-2, they lost 7 straight games, falling completely out of playoff contention. Cam fought through the pain, but it was clear that something was seriously wrong. Even routine throws became difficult. So the Panthers shut him down for the final 2 games. And after the season, Newton underwent another shoulder surgery, his second in 2 years. And on top of that shoulder surgery, Newton was also dealing with foot issues that had begun bothering him late in the previous season. Despite these concerns, Carolina still believed he was only 30 years old, and they knew if he could just get healthy again, he was still one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league. But that was a big if.
I'm about to get hot on these niggas.
Training camp and started week 1 of the 2019 season against the Rams. But he wouldn't make it past week 2. Early in the game, Cam re-aggravated a Lisfranc injury in his foot, a painful condition that makes it nearly impossible for a quarterback to step into their throws properly. He finished the game, but looked completely out of sync, missing throws he normally made with ease. And that turned out to be his last game in a Panthers uniform for at least a couple of years. After spending 9 years as the face of the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton was released on March 24th, 2020. It was the end of an era. And for months, no team showed any serious interest in signing him. A former MVP, still just 31 years old, sitting in free agency with no offers. But then, in late June, the New England Patriots took a chance, signing Newton to a 1-year, incentive-heavy deal worth up to $7.5 million. With Tom Brady gone, the Patriots needed a quarterback, and Cam needed a fresh start. Seemed like the perfect match. Despite joining the team late in the offseason and dealing with the challenges of a COVID-restricted training camp, Newton won the starting jobs for John Still and Brian Hoyer. And in week 1 against Miami, he made an immediate impact, rushing for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 21-11 Patriots win. In week 2 against Seattle, he nearly pulled off a legendary comeback, throwing for 397 yards and a touchdown, while adding 2 more scores on the ground. On the final play, with the Patriots down by 5 on the 1-yard line, Newton attempted to power into the end zone, but was stopped by the Seahawks.
You got dump that hole, bro.
Cam looked fantastic, and many believed Super Cam was back. Through the first 3 weeks, New England was 2-1, and Newton was playing some of his best football in years. He looked comfortable in Bill Belichick's system, leading a run-heavy offense that played to his strengths. But just as things were clicking,
all these niggas been quick. Y'all niggas trash, man. What's all
early October, Newton tested positive for COVID-19 and was forced to miss week 4 against the Chiefs. In reality, the Patriots' offense was awful. Then when Cam returned in week 6, something was off. His timing, decision-making, and throwing mechanics all looked worse. Whether it was a lack of practice, the lingering effects of COVID, or just a regression, he struggled badly. Over his next 4 games, Newton threw 0 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And the Pats went 1-3 during that stretch. The once promising season was slipping away. The Patriots missed the playoffs for the first time since 2008, finishing 7-9. And by the end of the year, it was clear Newton wasn't the long-term answer in New England. So, once again, Cam was a free agent. And once again, it seemed no one wanted it. At 32 years old, it looked as if his days as a starting quarterback were behind him. But then, in early November, a shocking opportunity opened up. In Week 9 of the 2021 season, the Carolina Panthers were struggling. Their starting quarterback, Sam Darnold, had suffered a fractured shoulder. And with no clear replacement, the team reached out to Cam. And on his very first snap, he ran for a touchdown. The Panthers blew out the Cardinals 34-10.
I get so many questions about how I keep my kids in microplastic free, so let me give you a quick story. On my counter, I displayed...
Felt like Cam had, and on his very first snap, he ran for a touchdown. The Panthers blew out the Cardinals 34-10. And it felt like Cam had breathed new life into the team. But after a solid game against Washington, Newton struggled returned. In week 12 against Miami, he completed just 5 of 21 passes for 92 yards, throwing 2 interceptions before being
trash-ass nigga.
Should have made that shit. After their bye week, Newton never regained his early magic. Over the next 4 weeks, he went 0-4 as a starter, failing to throw for more than 200 yards in any game. Carolina ended the season on a 7-game losing streak, finishing 5-12.
All that passing,
After the season, the Panthers did not re-sign Newton, nor did anyone else. His 2021 return to Carolina was a great story, but in the end, it was just that, a story. The version of Cam Newton that once dominated the league was gone, and by 2022, so was his NFL career.
Come on, man. What y'all niggas doing, man? Let me see the rock, man.
Pretty clear that he'll never play
I'm
the
gonna
league.
score that shit.
Cam, are you planning on retiring? No.
My niggas need me.
Cam Newton had a pretty short career, and even shorter prime. So, how good was Cam Newton actually?
Pass the rock,
He
my
didn't
nigga,
have
pass the
pinpoint
rock.
accuracy like Drew Brees. He wasn't a master of pre-snap reads like Peyton Manning, and he didn't have the longevity of Tom Brady. But what he did have was a rare combination of size, speed, and power that the NFL had never seen before. At 6'5", 245 pounds, he could bulldoze linebackers like a running back, outrun defensive backs like a wide receiver, and launch a football 60 yards downfield with ease. At his best, he was unstoppable. Defenses had no answer for him. If he played and the coverage was good, he'd take off and torch him with his leg. If they stacked the box, he'd hit him over the top with his cannon of an arm. And in the red zone, he was a cheat code. No quarterback in history scored more rushing touchdowns than Newton. He was the 2015 NFL MVP, leading the league in total touchdowns.
Ass bag, man. He's there.
With over 75 rushing touchdowns and over 30,000 passing yards. At his peak, he single-handedly willed the Panthers to a Super Bowl appearance. But his impact goes far beyond the surface level. He helped revolutionize the quarterback position, paving the way for guys like Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Jaden Daniels. And that's how good Cam Newton was, actually. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, stick with Blitz, subscribe, and check out some of our other content right here.
Welcome back to 2K TV. We are so excited to have you on the show. Once again, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me back.
In Triple Threat, you can pick your card. So which card and player are you using today? Because this is going to be a good one.
I'm gonna be using Invincible LaMelo Ball. That's definitely my favorite card that's came out all year.
So I'll be running with Invincible Giannis, so I can help with any of the other skills that need taken care of in this game.
And I just want no excuses, so I'm running Invincible Wemby.
Let's look at our opponents here. Who do we got? Paul George. Ooh, Kawhi.
You don't have to
That's
be
going to be a good defensive team, I'll tell you that.
It's 24/7 fast-friendly claims of that.
Can I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you're running
Hey, this is the first time I've ever seen John make a three. Normally he just
Get
stays
more
on
than
the
just savings.
basket.
Get more
Okay,
with
John.
Geico.
I'm the developer of the game, The Tower. I wanted to make a power type game that had nearly infinite number of upgrades.
There is something
Of
else.
course, fun of the game comes from Gap.
Golden State KD was the NBA's ultimate villain. The man was hated by everyone in basketball. Golden State KD was the NBA's ultimate villain. The man was hated by...
Players use like PG. I do see Duncan a lot. What are some of the cards you see the community running with?
everyone in the basketball universe.
A lot of Tim Duncan. I think personally, I think he's one of the best over 40 awards because he don't really see 6'11". A lot of people aren't big.
The guy was a cheat code. He had one of the greatest finals runs of all time. He had one of the most iconic shots in finals history. And then did it again just a year later, all while terrorizing the NBA on a nightly basis.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Let me see.
For a few years in order to achieve everything he's ever dreamed of. But at what cost?
Kevin Durant way outside, delivers! The Golden State Warriors champions once again, back-to-back title. Durant slipping, and Durant grabbing that right leg.
The hate KD got for joining Golden State is justified. That's obvious. And here's why. Durant was drafted in 2007 and quickly became OKC's golden child. He won the Rookie of the Year and made the NBA Finals in just his 5th season. Unfortunately, he lost to LeBron James in the Miami Heat, but there's no doubt that he'll be back. KD would bounce back, winning the MVP in 2014, and 2 years later, found himself just one win away from a return to the finals. One more win, and he'd beat a Golden State juggernaut that set the all-time wins record during the regular season, lining himself up for revenge against LeBron in the finals. But he could never look too far ahead. KD and the Thunder suffered a catastrophic collapse
collapse, losing 3 straight games and falling to the Warriors in 7. They were so close, yet so far. The climb back to the top for Durant is gonna be a long one. Except it wasn't. KD took the elevator to the top, signing with the team he just lost to, the team that won 73 games, the team with the reigning 2-time MVP, the same team that was just minutes away from back-to-back titles. We're now adding a top 3 player in the world to their roster. Kevin Durant is a Golden State Warrior. KD to the Warriors had the league in such a frenzy that before they even played a game together, there were serious beliefs that they might go a flawless 82-0 on the season. Then they lost by 29 on opening night, and all that nonsense went out the window. It was a stunner, but not as stunning as seeing KD in a Warriors jersey. It just looked wrong, especially when he faced his old squad in his new home.
It's Curry behind the
KD summoned the Slim Reaper, slashing Westbrook and the Thunder for 39 in a monster 26-point win. The Durant era in Golden State was officially here. After their win over OKC, they went on a 12-game winning streak with the new KD and Steph duo in full effect. Highlight reel no-look lobs on the fast break, electrifying chase-down blocks into 30-foot pull-up threes. It was surreal. Every game was like an all-star game with KD in the Bay, and he made his presence felt on Christmas Day. He introduced himself to the Cavs-Warriors rivalry, exploding for 36 and 15 in the greatest Christmas Day game of all time. And with a chance to win the game at the buzzer, he catches the inbound pass, but trips and fails to get a shot off to lose the game. Unfortunate, but this was just a taste of what was to come.
Veterans on the bench. Pass all the way across, and Durant runs it down.
We were now halfway through the season, and the hate towards Durant had not dissipated. In fact, it elevated because on February 11th, 2017, KD was making his long-awaited return to OKC in one of the most hostile environments we've ever seen.
From Texas, number 35, Kevin Durant.
And by the way, mention of Providence College. How about our colleague Doris Burke getting honored at Providence?
The booze and cupcake toss had relatively no effect on Durant as he poured in 34 points and 9 boards while trash talking to just about everybody on his former team. This dude was a psycho. KD and the Warriors would cruise the rest of the way, finishing the season with a 67 and 15 record for the first seed in the NBA. It was time to put this juggernaut to the test. In round 1, KD and his squad would face off against a mediocre Portland team, and it was light work. Durant was injured for games 2 and 3, but thankfully Golden State had some extra firepower as they swept the Blazers to advance to the second round. And to put it nicely, the Dubs blasted Utah in 4. KD averaged 25 a night, and he was making his return to the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive season. And this year was nothing like 2016. He scorched the 61-win Spurs in Game 1, stuffing the stat sheet with 34.
Starlink me.
There is nothing here.
drawing right now at my house.
Round 1, Eastern Conference, the NBA playoffs. The Heat enter the postseason with the best record in the conference. But now, the stakes are higher. Will their dominance be tested as they go up against the Philadelphia 76ers? Round 1, Game 1, the NBA playoffs, coming up next.
His championship dreams 5 years ago. Welcome, everyone. The regular season is in the books. The battle for the East begins. Round 1, Game 1.
It was the matchup
Our game tonight featuring the Miami Heat as they go up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline.
Now be to reintroduce myself. My name
And so here we go, the 76ers to start it. Outside Turner. Back to Holiday. Mr. Brand. And it's Brown with the jam.
Look, if you're going to try to stop Brand inside, you got to bring the physicality and toughness.
Forging the Cavs for 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. He was putting LeBron on a slip and slide before crushing the rim on a tomahawk dunk, hitting spot-up threes, and even trash-talking Rihanna. KD was on one. Up 1-0, Durant had an encore in Game 2, stuffing the stat sheet with 33 points, 13 boards, 6 dimes, 3 steals, and 5 blocks. A masterclass of a performance, and they're up 2-0. And Game 3 on the road didn't slow the Slim Reaper down one bit. He dropped another 30-piece, frying the Cavaliers with tough turnarounds in the post, wet strokes from 3, and baseline fades. What else do you want from this man? Wait, is he about to...
Incredible opportunity. Durant for 3. It's good. Kevin Durant from downtown, and Golden State takes the lead.
Down 2 with 50 seconds left, KD hits his patented hezzy pull-up from 3 right in LeBron's grill to go up 1 and take a 3-0 lead in the series. It was the dagger of all daggers. In Game 4, Cleveland finally got the upper hand, giving Golden State their first loss of the playoffs, which is just insane. So, back at home for Game 5 on the brink of a championship, KD shut the lights out.
Durant. Durant tries again. Durant gets away from Glover. Durant steps back for 3. One of the great playoff runs of all time is complete. Your Bill Russell 2017 Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant finally reaches the mountaintop as he's crowned NBA champion and Finals MVP, averaging 35, 8, and 5 on ludicrous efficiency. It's honestly one of the greatest Finals performances we've ever seen. On top of the fact that he led Golden State to a 16-1 record in the postseason. It was the greatest playoff run by the greatest team of all time. And this was just the beginning.
With a ring on his finger entering the 2018 season, KD was a man possessed. He was hitting nasty crossovers into game winners in LA, putting his handle on display once again in Milwaukee with the nastiest hezzy I've ever seen, and of course, throwing down an array of tomahawk slams. Not to mention, he was also embarrassing dudes on the defensive end, blocking shots like he was swatting flies off the backboard. In fact, he averaged a career-high blocks at 1.8 per game this season. Durant was taking his game to the next level, which made Golden State as dangerous as ever. I mean, these cats were so good, Steve Kerr let Iguodala coach the team for fun. It was the ultimate level of disrespect. The regular season was a joke for the Warriors. They finished the year as the second seed in the West, but come playoff time, you knew KD and the guys were going to turn up. Golden State was right back to their dominant ways in the postseason. Durant averaged 28, 8, and 5 in round one as they gentlemen swept the Spurs. Then they went on to dummy an Anthony Davis-led New Orleans team in 5 to move on and face the NBA's #1 seed, 65-win Houston Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. This was a squad built specifically to give KD and Golden State a run for their money. We were about to see a war, and Durant made sure he threw the first punch. KD was silky smooth as he lit up the Rockets for 37 points in a huge Game 1 win on the road. And he kept it going in Game 2 as well with a 38-point nuke. But Houston trampled them by 22. It was obvious now. The Warriors had a formidable opponent. They bombed the Rockets back home in Game 3 by 41, but it evoked an immediate response as Houston won Games 4 and 5 to throw Golden State on the ropes, down 3-2. Much of the basketball world was stunned. No one thought any team had a chance against the KD Warriors, and now they're just one loss away from not even making the finals. However, in Game 6, they silenced doubters as KD poured in 23 in a blowout win to force a Game 7. And back at home, the Rockets came out strong, leading by as much as 15 in the second quarter. But KD wasn't having any of it. The Slim Reaper went into takeover mode, scoring 21 points in the second half as he nailed back-breaking shots late to seal the win and keep the hopes of back-to-back titles alive. The Warriors are headed back to the finals for the second consecutive season in the KD era. And surprise, surprise, we got a rematch. In 2017, Kevin Durant completely took over the finals, challenging LeBron for the title of the best player in the world. And in 2018, his sights were set on dethroning the king. In Game 1, KD dominated both sides of the ball as he poured in 26 points, 9 boards, 6 dimes, and 3 blocks in a 10-point win. And Game 2 was nearly identical as he killed the Cavs for 26, 9, 7, and 2 blocks to take a commanding 2-0 series lead, headed back to Cleveland, where he set out to prove that he was the best player on the planet.
Durant to handle the crossover, the pull-up, shot's good. Stays well. Durant from beyond the arc. Rattles home. Durant fires a three. Knocks it down. Kevin Durant. Hill. Waiting for some space, rises and scores. Kevin Durant torching the Cavaliers. Now Hood picks him up on the switch. Shot clock at 5. Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown. It's a 6-point game. That's the same spot he had in Game 3 last year.
With one of the greatest performances in NBA Finals history, KD drilled a carbon copy of his shot from 2017, this time from 32 feet out to drive the dagger into LeBron and the Cavs. On top of the shot, Durant put in 43 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. He was a certified assassin. And for the cherry on top, KD posted a 20-point triple-double in Game 4, sweeping the Cavaliers to capture back-to-back championships and back-to-back Finals MVPs. With his historic performances and the accolades he was stacking up, Durant was cementing his legacy as one of the game's all-time greats right in front of our eyes. But he wanted more. 2 was sweet. 3 would be history. Entering the 2019 season, KD and the Dubs were hunting for the first three-peat since the Kobe-Shaq Lakers in 2002. But
Try imagining a place where it's always safe. Come in, she said, I'll be out. Shelter from the sun.
I am someone who is constantly upgrading my home and trying to find ways to brighten my space and make it feel more authentic to my style. My dining space has been in need of a makeover for a while now, and I was so excited when I discovered Hoft Home was having their sale with items up to 40% off. I picked up their Ven extendable dining table and Jacob dining chairs. The high-quality walnut finish on both the table and chairs brings the perfect amount of warmth into my space to create my Italian summer at home at an affordable price. If your home is ready for a summer refresh, then I would highly recommend checking out the Hoft Home sale.
in the process, they encountered the same problems that caused that dynasty to end. In just their 14th game this season against the Clippers, tied late in the fourth, Draymond pulls down the rebound and doesn't give the ball to KD for the final shot, and the fireworks went off. The two got into it on the bench where Draymond told Durant, "We don't need you. We won without you. Leave." For which KD replied by walking back on the court saying, "That's why I'm out." See, Durant was in the final year of his contract, and rumblings that he'd leave in free agency were already beginning to bubble. And now, we had some concrete evidence. This ticked off KD, and as he headed up north, he took his anger out on Toronto.
Comes off the bench, he's at 4-4. Durant. Durant, a nice move. Here's Durant on the fake. 10 seconds, goes to the corner.
KD was a monster as he scorched the Raptors for 51, 11, and 6 while hitting shots that literally had you questioning if this guy had aimbot. He was unreal. Even with a bit of tension, Durant and the Warriors were up to their old tricks the rest of the season. KD continued his scoring binge, averaging 26, 6, and 5 as the Dubs finished first in the West. Once again, the regular season was just a warm-up for the playoffs, where the chase for the elusive three-peat began. In round one, the Warriors would face the 8-seeded Clippers, and there were some signs of concern. After an easy 17-point win in Game 1, it looked like they were on track for another blowout in Game 2, up by 31 points halfway through the third quarter. But in a flash, it was gone. The Clippers rallied to win by 4 in the largest postseason comeback in NBA playoff history. And the man who took all the heat was our boy KD. He attempted just 8 shot attempts in that game too. Labeled as the best player in the world, that can't happen, and the media let him hear it. They questioned his passiveness and how much of an effect Patrick Beverley's defense had on his game. Yes, that was a real question, and Durant responded with one of the coldest bars you'll ever hear.
I'm not gonna get in the way of the game because, I want to have a little back and forth with Patrick Beverley. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. I know who I am.
Do I need to say more? From this moment forward, KD was locked in.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Durant working on the rookie. Shakes him. He's got another one. Playoff for them. Kevin Durant's first. Now got a piece with 6 on the shot. Big miss that time. Durant goes. Durant scores. And 1 for KD. Durant trying to create some space. Doesn't matter. He does. That's a joke. Minutes. Doing an excellent job. Durant for some shots. Durant foul and 1. And on Durant 5 to shoot. Durant little crossover, pull up shot. That's good. Durant long range. Count it and the foul. Kevin Durant with a chance for a 4-point play. Durant on the ball. Pass to Kevin Durant. Durant turns, fires, count it and 1. Trying to stay with him. Durant again, same spot, pull up, same result. Pick it out, open Durant. That's good. Durant. Count it and the foul.
What more could you have done to slow Kevin down, especially in the first half?
I mean, he's Kevin Durant.
I promise we tried.
Over the next 4 games, KD scored 38, 33, 45, and 50 in a closeout Game 6 on just stupid efficiency. He's Kevin Durant. Thanks to KD, the series win brought them to round 2 for a Western Conference Finals rematch. And
you don't have to be a VIP to get more than just savings with Geico. Every customer gets 24/7 fast-friendly claim support.
Could I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you run into animal celebrities every day.
Stop! It's Doug the Bug! Stop!
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico. Man was still on one. He poured in 35 in a Game 1 win, then 29 to go up 2-0, followed by 46 in a Game 3 loss, and then 34 in another Houston win that tied the series at 2. Durant was in the midst of one of the greatest heaters of his career, averaging over 38 a game since his iconic quote, and with a chance to go up 3-2 at home, he'd keep it rolling. He electrified the crowd with 20 points in the first half, on pace for another 40-burger. But unfortunately, he'd never get there. Late in the third quarter, KD landed from a jumper and suffered a calf injury that forced him to leave the game. Golden State would pull out the win, but post-game, it was reported that Durant suffered a mild calf sprain and would be out for the series. A freak injury at the worst possible time. The Warriors went on to win Game 6 to get back to the Western Conference Finals, where KD remained out as Curry carried Golden State to a sweep over the Blazers to get back to the NBA Finals and keep the three-peat alive. Hopes are high that we'll see a healthy Kevin Durant back on the court in the Finals, because they'll need him if they want to make history.
To the lane, Durant slipping. Durant goes down, holding his leg.
Turns out that mild calf injury was worse than we thought. KD missed games 1, 2, 3, and a crucial Game 4 that saw his squad go down 3-1 in the finals. So, with the three-peat in jeopardy, KD would make his return in Game 5. We had no idea if he was still dealing with that injury, but regardless, the Slim Reaper was back, and he was exactly what the Warriors needed. KD didn't skip a beat, going off for 11 points in the first quarter, and the Warriors looked lethal once again. Can they really come back from a 3-1 deficit? Is the three-peat alive again? So many questions were going through our minds, but sadly, we'd never find out.
Ibaka trying to stay with Durant, knocks it away, and Durant slipping. Durant goes down, holding his leg. Ibaka goes up, and it's fouled down the other end. And Durant grabbing that right leg. It's the right jab. That put him out.
Early in the second quarter, KD attempts to drive past Ibaka and ruptures his right Achilles. A dreadful injury that not only put the series in jeopardy, but Durant's entire career could be changed forever. And to make matters worse, Raptors fans cheered at his injury, taunting and waving goodbye at him as he sat on the court in shock. Fans eventually came to their senses, realizing the severity of the situation, as they gave Durant a standing ovation as he walked off the court for the last time as a Golden State Warrior. That was it. Golden State lost the finals in 6, ending their hopes of a three-peat. But the real question is, was that it for KD?
The Warriors believe that the MRI today will confirm a tear of Kevin Durant's right Achilles.
So actually what KD was risking also to me wasn't the money. It was the rest of his career, the rest of his prime. He may never be the same.
Kevin Durant will leave the Golden State Warriors and sign with the Brooklyn Nets.
Durant for three. It's good. Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers. The Golden State Warriors champions once again. Back-to-back titles.
The back-to-back NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
These are Camelo Music Shield, my new Moments Acctivated. Great audio, great battery life. I can listen to music while running up to marathon 50K. It's instant connection.